Hello and welcome back. So now that we have the homepage completed for our app, it's time to deploy it to production. There's a short video which went through signing up for Heroku. I hope you followed and completed that. If you have not, then I would ask you to pause this video and go back to that video and complete it and sign up for Heroku. Okay, great. Now let's go ahead and deploy our app to production. First, we're going to update the gem file. Okay, now Heroku uses Postgres as the database, but we've been using the default SQLite database that came with our app. This is okay in development, but now we have to install the Postgres gem for production deployment. So let's go ahead and add that to our gem file. So navigate over to your gem file and open it. Okay. Now you see that we have SQLite over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to group the two gems separately. We have to create a group that are specific to dev and test, which will include SQLite, and we'll also add another gem called Pry, which we're going to use later. And then we're going to create a group for production, which will include Postgres and Rails 12 Factor. So let's go ahead and do that. So over here, right under this, type in group space colon development comma colon test do and end. What you're saying is whatever you put in here is going to be for group development and test, and then group colon production do, then end. Okay, so we have our SQLite gem here, so I'm going to go ahead, copy that, then put this here. Then I'm also going to add the Pry gem right now. We're going to use this later on. And in production, we're going to go ahead and add gem PG, that's Postgres, and then gem Rails _ 12 Factor. All right, so that's what we needed to do to our gem file. Now we're going to check our Git status. So we modified the gem file. So let's go ahead and commit this change by typing in git commit am. We're combining the git add -a and the git commit m into one command that says git space commit space -am, and then we're going to say update gem file for production use, then hit return. All right, now we're going to bundle install, but here we don't want to install the production gems in our local development environment. Okay, so you're going to type in, instead of just bundle install, you're going to type in bundle space install space -- without production. Okay, and then hit return. Okay, great. So now our application is ready to push to Heroku. All right. So first, we'll make sure again that we have Heroku installed, Heroku tool belt. We do. So first, you want to type in Heroku login, which will basically log in to your Heroku account. So use your use your email that you use to sign up for a Heroku account, and then the password, Okay, so we're logged in. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add our SSH key to our Heroku account. So you're going to type in Heroku keys : add. And what this will do is it's going to add our public SSH key of our Cloud9 development environment to our Heroku account, so that when we push our code to Heroku, it's not going to ask us to authenticate. It will just use our SSH key. Okay. So it says found an SSH public key. Would you like to upload it? Type in Y, caps Y, and then hit return. All right, so it's all done. All right. So now we're going to create an app. Okay. So type in Heroku space create. All right, so the app's created. That's literally what it takes to create an app. It's really fast. Okay, and it also added git remote Heroku added, right? What does that mean? That means that now if we push from this directory, we're going to do git push Heroku master, okay? So when we issue that command, it's going to load the app to Heroku that we just created, and it will be live, okay? So let's go ahead and rename this app first, because I don't like this name. It's very complicated. So I'm going to go ahead and issue a command called Heroku space rename space, and what do we want to call it? Our app is called My Recipes, so I'll just call it Rails My Recipes. Actually, no. I'm going to call it My Recipes Rails. Okay, so it got renamed, so that's great. Now you can't call it My Recipes Rails because I just took the name, so you'll have to call it something else that you want. Now, one thing I would add here is that if an app already exists with the name you choose, it won't let you create it. So you'll have to select a name that doesn't exist already. So now that our app is renamed, all we need to do is git push Heroku master. And what it'll do is when it's loading, it's going to do a bundle install using the production gems. It'll leave out the development and test stuff, okay? So Postgres and Rails 12 Factor will be installed, and our application should be ready to go. And the address would be this right here, https. For me, it's myreciperails.heroku.com. So whatever your app name you choose, it would be that name.herokuapp.com. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. Hit return. It says, are you sure you want to continue connecting? Yes. This may take a minute because it's going to deploy now. Okay, we seem to have a problem. It says failed to push references. Okay, what is the error that we have? Okay, Ruby app detected. Bundle install test. Gem file. Let's add the lock to version control. Run bundle and add the update gem to version control. Okay, so a couple of things we want to do here that I left out. Over here, type in Ruby 2.1.4. That's what we're using. That's one thing. And it's another thing saying about our gem file lock. Okay, so let's go ahead and check our Git status. Okay, so we haven't committed these two. So let's do a git commit -am update gem file lock. What happened most likely is that after we ran bundle install without production, we didn't commit that update. So it failed when it tried to push to Heroku. So let's try this. So I'm going to commit this update. Okay, now if I do git status, everything should be up to date. Okay, so let's try that again. Git push Heroku master. We're seeing our app getting created in Heroku. It's installing all of the gems and everything that we need and all the dependencies. All right, great. So it looks like it launched our app to this address. So let's go ahead and check it out. Again, the address is the name of the app you give it, .herokuapp.com. So let's try this out. We'll pull up any tab, browser tab. And there it is. Our app is live and running. Congratulations. So with that, we bring this section to a close. We've covered a lot of ground so far. You have set up your Cloud9 workspace. You got comfortable using the command line. You learned how to use Git for version control. You used Git to clone an app from GitHub and work on it. You also created a fully functioning, albeit basic, Rails app by following the Rails guides page. You've learned how to use GitHub and create repositories. And finally, you've built your app's homepage, used Bootstrap, set your routes, and deployed to production using Heroku. And your site is up and running. You can give this URL to anyone and they'll be able to access it and see your site. That's great. Now, in the next section, we'll dive deep into Rails and Active Record. And in preparation for that, I need you to read up on associations. So go to this page, guides.rubyonrails.org/association_basics.html, or you can just type into Google search bar associations and Rails. And I want you to read this guide and pay special attention to one-to-many and many-to-many relationships, which is basically belongs to, has many, and has many through. Okay? I want you to pay special attention to these three. Belongs to, has many, and has many through. All right? I also want you to revisit the Rails routes page, which is at guides.rubyonrails.org/routing.html. And I want you to pay special attention to what happens when you create resources. okay, when you create resources and any resource. And basically, what are the paths that creating resources provides for you? All right, congratulations again, and I will see you in the next section.